Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a one-page layout, and I just want to start off by apologizing for, which I shouldn't apologize for the sunshine, but the sunshine coming in through the window. It does kind of hit on my desk and kind of give you some shadows. It does get better though as the video goes on, I believe. I must just not be out in the she shed that early in the morning to notice. So I have these two photos here for my mother-in-law. She requested some or a new layout with these photos. I have the one on the left is actually 5x5. I just bought a new printer, and when I tried to print this 4x6, it cut off, I believe it must have been the guy on the left, because even the 5x5 cut him off a little bit. And so the printer came with some 5x5 photo paper, and so I decided to print that size, and it worked out really nice. I am actually using scraps from previous layouts. This is how they were cut at these angles, which is different, not something I would normally do. And surprisingly, I left them. I did not trim them up, change them whatsoever. This is just how they were, and I kind of liked how it looked. So I am just going to kind of overlap them, and then I kind of stored all my Maggie Holmes collections, and then like this Heritage, my Mind's Eye collection, in one iris container, because that's kind of what I primarily used for my mother-in-law's album. And when I was going through there, I think the Maggie Holmes Heritage collection had this piece of ephemera here, musical notes, and the photos here, the one on the left is of her dad's band, and so I wanted to kind of include a little musical feel to that. I guess I was able to cut the piece of ephemera and stretch it to make it look like it goes all the way through, and actually cover up the pink piece. There was like a pink journaling card on that, and so I was able to cut and cover that up so it looks like, it's a long piece of paper. My mother-in-law was specific on what she wanted included on the layout. She wanted the band's name. I guess first it was Sweetwater, and then it was Weekend Traffic. So I am going to kind of play around with that at the top. I did cut a little bit out because I did space out the Sweetwater after I initially placed it down. And then I went into my stash to see what other alpha I could use that would kind of show up on the printed paper. And I stared at it a long time, trying to figure out and make sure before I started I had all the letters. Well, I got to this point and realized I must have been another D. So I went back into my stash and found these new alphas I got from Pink Fresh Studio. I think it's from the Good Life collection, and really liked those. So I just alternated those two. Again, didn't make you watch me place all of that, and so I just skipped ahead for you, and you can see the Weekend Traffic. It shows up obviously better when the layout was right in front of you, but I do like the way that it kind of looks, and it brings in kind of that mustard color a little bit. So I went into the Heritage ephemera pack. Then I had half of a wreath left, and I thought that filled in that space at the top really well. You saw that I was trying to play around with that piece of paper that was already cut to see if I could fill in that with that paper, but just didn't like the way that looks. I found these little tickets, which I thought were cute. They aren't really musical, but you get tickets to go see a band, and so I decided to kind of use those for accenting. So really the embellishing on this layout was quite simple. She kind of wanted it more on the simple side, and so that's kind of what I did. So there is a cluster on the bottom left, and then I will add one to the top right as well. This is the ephemera pack from the, I Heritage, the My Mind's Eye Heritage Collection. I kind of use that as well. I think that's what the papers are from, and so it just worked out really nice. There was another circle piece that I thought I was going to try to use, but it just did not work out. So I continued to go through that, looking for something I could add to that top right. And I did end up adding a little heart to the bottom left, but then I went into that iris container with all of kind of the heritage feel pieces and found this canvas tag, which I really liked. It had that twine already with it, and so I used that at the corner there, and then found another tag that was like colors in the, must have been the Heritage Maggie Holmes collection. So I add those two tags. I am going to add another one of the tickets here, and just wanted something else simple in that cluster, and so I found a circle with a gold heart on it, and so I'm going to add that to that cluster, and that's going to finish off that top cluster. The bottom cluster is done as well, but then up at the top with the Sweetwater on both sides is quite bare, and so I just decided to finish off the layout using some enamel dots and added a cluster of 3 to each side of the title at the top. And I don't think, it doesn't look like I added any to either of the other clusters. I just felt like it was okay and didn't need it. So that is going to finish off this layout. I think all the products I used are quite old. I will see if I can find them for you. And if I can, I will link it down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.